What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I am back with some more bald-headed action as the top of the map is the former rank 1 Age of Mythology Retold player. His name is Husk Soup. He's going to be playing for us the best god in the game, Tsukiyomi. You'll note that I said the best god in the game was Uranus before, but there are allowed to be 2 best gods in the game. It's not an exclusive thing. And potentially there could be 3 best gods in the game as well when you add some other ones into the mix there as well. So just remember they're all really good. And he's opponent today in the red color playing as Odin. I wish I could say the other best god in the game, and I can't bring myself to do it. This is one of the gods that I think people are having a lot of trouble with right now. But in terms of players who are incredibly good at the game and trying to push the meta a little bit forward, Matador is definitely one of them. So we'll see how things are going to go here. But yeah, this was on, this game was played a while ago. This was on Soup's like mad grind with only Tsukiyomi. And I think he went on something like a 30-game winning streak, which is absolutely insane. Nobody could take a game off him until our Japanese hero Adipus came through and showed him the business. But then again, Adipus will show anyone the business. He is that kind of gamer. Let's take a little look-see up with the relics over here. We got ourselves the Trojan Gate Hinge, which is going to be an extra 40% hit points for the walls there. Onto the bottom side, there is the Gungnir Odin Spear, which will be a little bit of extra damage for those spearman type units. Does this give prodromus or hoplites? I've never understood why some relics, which affect spears, affect the prodromus, and other relics affect the hoplites. I thought we were all for continuity in this game, things that make sense. And the devs went silent. All right, onto the bottom side of the map. I'm just kidding. I love the devs. Anvil of Hephaestus here with a reduction in gold cost there. Who's not going to care about this relic? Mr. One Husk Soup is not going to care about this relic. He has got 1 mind and 1 mind alone. That relic there is only worth like 100 resources to him because all he's going to be getting in this game is going to be copper, weapons, mail, and shields, and then he's going to call it a day. That's it. All right. We do see a temple coming up now for Matador. It is Alfheim. It's a great Heimdall map. This is an amazing Heimdall map, but Matador's not going for any early rush, early attacks, or anything like that. I think if I was playing this position here as Matador, I would be considering putting my temple over here, advancing at like 13 pop or 14 pop, building a whole bunch of Herser in, and then looking to grab this town center as fast as I possibly can, while undermining the dojo or the stable that gets placed down by the probably the dojo, to be honest. Oh, well, this is different. This changes everything now. Oh my. Now I'm looking at this going, holy kitsune. And there is a stable coming down. I like it because it's cool. I thought we were going to put the new moon onto the armory, but no, it's going to be some little cute nibblers as they're just going to wander through. We gotta check this out from this angle, right? Yeah, this is perfect. This is what it looks like to be a nibbler. This is the nibbler perspective. It's, you know, it's a little bit of fun for you, but realistically, the nibblers are going to come in and they're going to see a little wall here, and we see them running in here. Oh, this is kind of a cool little angle we get to note here as the wooden wall. Are you guys liking this? Should I turn this off? We're going to continue. Let's jump in. Okay. Now we're going to eat the run away. Now we're running away. All right. This is kind of very tough to watch. All right. That was enough of that, but I hope you guys enjoyed. As the kitsune will have been effectively denied for the moment as some walls to come up over here. Funnily enough, if you went for my crazy strat of going for an early attack against the Tsukiyomi, you would be in a lot of pain here. This is a nice little counter strat. Oh, but look at that beauty from Matador. He's only going to be able to pick off 1 kitsune for it, though, unfortunately. But he does pick off one, and he makes Soup freak out a little bit as the Gits and I have to pull back into the main base. In the main base, however, it is a guardhouse, it is a stable, and that's it for Soup. As he's going to be making himself some bushy, some Naginata riders, and living the dream. There's this wall up, and the Hearser are very much enough to push through here. Is a good little cheeky micro there from the Soupster, as he is not going to be losing anything just yet. And Matador does have to play a really big, fat turtle game. Now, the question is, was Matador incredibly intelligent and grabbed himself a safeguard? No. This technology is almost more important than Rigstula. In this specific situation, more important than Rigstula, definitely more important than Rigstula. Because the aim here for Odin, I would say, is to put walls literally everywhere in this game, on this map. We are looking to fight this Japanese player in the slightest. Get Rigstula second. Get the second talent center up as fast as you possibly can. While putting and put the walls up first, right? You got to get them all up. Maybe even towers behind the walls. Very, very important. Nonetheless, behind this, now Soup says, time for some extra Miko. I do like this idea of once you've got map control and your opponent's stuck in their base. This is similar to playing as Atlantean, or I guess playing as Egyptian to some degree, because you're just going to put obelisks everywhere, right? Or playing as Loki, you put ox carts everywhere. If you ever get map control, take control of the map in one way, make use of it, basically. As the Miko can come over here, they can drop little bits of shrines all over the place. And the question is going to be, what sort of unit is Soup going to go for? Now, against this safeguard strat with all the walls, one big weakness to it is going to be a myth unit that it's got crush damage, of which Soup does have access to. Though I haven't seen him ever go for that god. So with Tsukiyomi. It's actually quite good because you get Inari Orkami with the, or you get from Inari Orkami, you get yourself the gold income. Of course, you can go for Tengu and just completely circumvent the walls as well. But let's not go there. Alrighty, we got ourselves the Hamask to come through as some more Berserks on the way. Mark coming down in the main base there for our Odin player. The new moon was not worth it so far. I think the big thing with using it on the temple is so long as your plan is to make myth units, it's always going to have been worth it. So at some point here, myth units will get made by Soup. He's got 5 Miko on the map. I kind of wish there was a way to cycle through these. I don't know how to cycle through your units you've got selected. But there's one sitting up. So you've got 5. That's a crazy amount of favor income here. Like absolutely insane. For this point in the game. Because like 0.1, 0.08, 0.12. It's kind of like he's got 5, like nearly 5 monuments, right? In terms of favor income. Depending on how much favor each of these are getting, right? Let's like one like this here. Let's go 1.12. Anyways, still trying to break through onto this side. There's no rush here for Soup. He can save up favor for another new moon if he wants to. He can go in for more myth units at any point. And we'll see. And now we see Safeguard, which will be boosting up the walls. One idea here as well, actually, inside of this Safeguard is because he's got this great gold mine, and he's got this town center here, but he could just go for a couple of village centers in his main base. Might sound wild and crazy, but a bunch of village centers into a whole bunch of farms, and you just sit there until it pays itself off. It could work. I don't know. Of course, you have to be completely walled off and things like that, but it could work. As long as the Oni mass don't come in and just walk through everything. But the boom, well and truly on the way. Second town center coming up now over here as Matador does not spot it. He may have spotted it. I don't know. A tower coming up over here, though. As the Berserks wandering back in to throw up another wall. Take a look at exactly how much gold this costs. 7 gold. It's so cheap. Cheap as chips. As Skadi is... just about to come through, as it does now make its way on the into the next stage. And this is with Rick Stooler, so it's only going to be 62 seconds instead of 75 seconds. But then again, Soup's Tsukiyomi will hit the next stage with even less time. So I think it's 25% faster or something. There's a Great Hall going to come through. And unfortunately for Soup, all of his raiders have been nullified. And while he has managed to force Matador into a bit of an odd position, he's gone for a bit of a turtle on one town center. And also Heroic Age has come through without the town center coming up. So long as Matador puts this town center up in like the next couple of, like next 30 seconds to a minute, he should be completely fine, economically speaking. Then again, you don't want to really be behind the Tsukiyomi player, the Japan player. If you're behind the Japan player in terms of economy, that's painful. 9 times out of 10. So now we got the heavy infantry on the way. A couple more berserks coming in. And Winter Harvest coming through there for the super quick food income. And Matador can probably drop himself some forts up here as well. Because the big problem is Hachiman's going to come... Oh, that's so much favor. I wouldn't be surprised if Soup goes straight in to a second... Like, just drop a second temple and then just spend everything on Tengu to just run around the map. That 20 favor, you can make yourself like 9 Tengu right off the bat. Of course, they're 200 plus wood, but still be absolutely brutal. We got copper armor, plow. We got the survival equipment, bow saw. All the good stuff for Matador. The good thing here for Norse is that you can just go into building spam. This is something that's super hard to stop against Norse. If Norse players want to play this, you just effectively just chuck everyone on wood and a handful on gold. Just get a whole bunch of buildings everywhere, town centers, village centers, and your opponent has to just knock it all down to make any progress, which gives you a huge amount of time to play with. Meanwhile, 200 favor in the bank here for Soup. He does this a lot, I've noticed, where he likes to bank favor and then just like never use it. I think in this case, he's probably going to drop the new moon onto an armory now that he's got his armory upgrades. It's just so much value. And we see some towers coming through for Matador. I do like these sort of ideas, locking up this position. But Soup can look to grab himself a third town center. Maybe even go Mythic Age here. Doesn't have to hit a timing. He can buy himself these armory upgrades as well, because the economy is effectively equal for Soup at the moment. So there's no real need to spend 1,250 resources effectively to get those armory upgrades. And we'll see if he's going to go for something as the Great Halls. I think Mythic Age here makes a lot of sense, to be honest. Okuninuchi, drop the new moon for full iron, buy full bronze, new moon for full iron, and dropping it onto the castle for all those upgrades as well. For a second one. Or a bunch of Omuraki makes perfect sense as well. There's Matador wandering forward. Great Halls going up. I mean, it's just been the biggest of booms from both players. Got to be careful. You don't really want to take this fight as Matador somewhat stuck here, but he chooses to fight. I think he should just be running. Like, there's no need to take the fights. And this is where, basically, this is what the Japan player wants. So if you can just avoid fighting full stop, you're normally going to be in a good position against Japan. So put walls, put towers, get nice ranged fights and things like that. It's sort of similar to when you play against Norse, right? You don't really want to fight the Norse player either because they're going to be getting favor in. As we do see that new moon does come down onto the armory. I'm sort of upset that he didn't just buy these. But he has so much favor that I guess it doesn't really matter. Is there a world where he goes for... No, it's not. That takes way too long. This Matador getting himself his portable ram. Still doesn't have this third town center up. It's probably something that was pretty important for him, is more towers into the center. The only issue with this is once Okuni Nushi comes through, then he can get himself mechanical artisans by new mooning the castle. I could just buy it normally. And then the Oyumi can take these out really, really quickly. And you have to ask yourself, what's your answer for Oyumi as Norse? Jarls are probably the answer, but that's tough. There's a settlement coming up for Matador on the back. Town center on the front coming up here now for Soup as well. A couple of units are getting picked to pieces here. Now Mythic Age is in for Soup as he's going to get himself his Ombaraki. His Sacred Gate comes down. He gets himself another armory. New moon there as the full iron comes through. And he gets himself an extra Swampland and an extra Shogun. You do see up onto this top side, a little bit of an undermine to just break through. You could pick a lot of villagers off. Can he get in front? One Ursa trying. If you get the Berserk, it's moving a lot faster there. Get in front and put some walls down or something. At least a couple of villages will end up going down. As the army slowly pushing through the center, we do see Restless Army in, which will mean Ombaraki Pain on the way with 143 favor here. As Soup comes up to the top side with all those Yumi archers. Just have to make sure he's actually firing with them, but with full iron, it almost doesn't matter. There's a whole bunch of other units over onto this side as Frost gets dropped down onto this front. Give himself just a little bit of time to pressure down over onto this left side as the Yumi getting dismantled by all of those Huskal, and this side position will start to fall. The only issue for Matador is it feels like he's a little bit behind the 8-ball. There's a couple of wretches over on this side for the Playbringer. Omaraki's hitting the raid. He's a little bit behind the 8-ball on that Mythic Age. I could imagine a Fimble Winter getting hit right now, or getting clicked right now, being a huge leg up for Matador. But he just doesn't have it. He's missing out on it for some reason. I guess it might just be for armory upgrades. That sort of a difference? I don't know. Probably not. As the Gatherer is going down, we do have a couple of Godi over onto this side as well, as Divine Prefecture coming through, which will help with temple production, castle production, villager production as well, as the top town center does end up falling. But over into this position as well, Matador going to start losing some villagers here. So he's got villager kills, but losing them, not ideal. And that also does give some Bushido experience over to Soup as well. As now Matador will be pulling back ever so slightly. More towers coming through. Yeah, are you gonna... Can we not use the new moon on the castle? Instead, just build Ombaraki, please? They're so much more fun. At the very least, the Tengu will die, right? The Matador is at full pop. He's got almost enough favor for another Frost, which could be his plan to maybe play around one of the Swamplands or something, but another new moon onto the castle. God, so crazy how much value he's gotten from this tech. I feel like this tech needs like a plus 100 favor cast rate. Like you could put it, yeah, like Something like that. You use it once, it goes up to 125. Use it twice, it's 225 or something. I don't know. It seems like that's the type of value that it gives. Anyways. Yumi will be erasing everything that Matador's put up in this game. He does manage to click up through tier. Which town center, though, is the question. It's like he's onto this back one, so it's somewhat safe there. But his main base is going to be in a lot of trouble here, as Matador does need to catch up on armory upgrades. The one saving grace is that the Bushido tier 4 for full champion is not in yet. There's more buildings up onto this back position. You're probably asking, why doesn't he just take this fight? And he probably should, but if he can just hold, not lose any units, he's still going to be at 235 pop. And he's at full villages, so losing this is not the end of the world. If you can hit it with a Fimble Winter timing, and maybe get lucky with a wolf spawn, he can probably take this fight. He's also going to have a frost very, very shortly as he charges forward with his army a little bit on the too soon side of things. He obviously wants this frost. I mean, if he can frost the front units and then charge around onto the back, like go right now with the Huskal, that could be another angle to just clean up all the back line. But does he have the throw and axeman numbers to deal with the samurai? It doesn't look like he does. Swampland getting dropped down over onto this spot here. Frost does get dropped onto the back line and the front line as the units have to pop through those hill forts. Units are falling here for Matador as he's lost nearly everything. And now Fimble Winter comes down. He gets the wolf spawn, but during the middle of the frost is not going to be any assistance at all. And Soup, he's not going to care one iota about the idle time that's been forced here, because he's still at 7.5k military resource value. Now, if Matador can just get all of his cav onto this backline, oh, he doesn't have enough. If he can get all of his units on, I don't know. He needs to be on that backline of Oyumi. And at the very least, the Throw and Axeman can deal with the front line to some degree, especially with the help of the towers and everything else. If he can get onto that backline, he can deal with those. Give himself a little bit more time in this game to sort of catch up. And this crazy power spike from Soup might be able to have been overwhelmed. Berserker gang on the way. So pulling back to his Oyumi for the time being here. And the hill fort will get cleaned up as these units slowly making their way forward. And Matador manages to clean the army. Perfect. Now, Soup does have himself nearly 6,000 gold in the bank. I don't exactly know what his plan is with that. Village differential is equal. And as much as I'd love to say ignore the score right now, the only problem for Matador is, or the big thing that's holding Matador back from equalizing here is going to be the town center, full champion, and full iron. If we can get to that, he will stabilize. He will be able to play somewhat of an equal late game here and bring this game back from the brink. Gold mine situation, not looking all too good for Matador though. He needs this gold mine or something to give himself enough time here to bring this game back. So we see Sakura Gardens to come through as well. Always nice to help that favor income. Even if it's only a tiny bit. And I guess now the question is, how do you actually deal with the Omyoji? These things are really, really good versus ranged clumps. And all the Oyumi out, as well as the Yumi archers. And if you're Matador, does he have any? He does have one castle, one hill fort in. You do basically want full Huskarl right now if you can, especially with bravery. Let's have champion in as well. But Matador forced to take a fight right now as the army is somewhat out of position. But the throwing axemen, they're just not going to be that effective here, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong and they are going to be that effective. This Matador's front line is tanking everything, allowing the throwing axemen to get that DPS off. Soup has to pull back. Might be... What unit should Soup be making then? If he can't win this fight, he's up in military resource value. The samurai to come through is now the throwing axeman. Basically, you want to just focus fire these samurai down. You can't attack move because they have so much HP. You want to be picking them off one by one. They're worth 2 infantry units in one. That's kind of the idea. It's looking like, yeah, Matador's big problem here is going to be gold. He doesn't have a temple either. You can't really build any myth units versus the Onmyoji either. They do tons and tons of damage to those myth units. Matador is doing an incredibly valiant defense here. Like I said, the only issue is just that gold mine. If he had maybe a trade route started, he does have something started. He's got 7 ox caravans. Maybe he can make something happen here. If he had like 30 ox caravans out already, he wouldn't need a gold mine. He could get rid of like 30 villages, turn them into berserks, charge forward, try and get his town center back, pull this game back from the brink. And Ballista coming in is an interesting try. Now, normally I'd say this is a great idea versus the archers, but the Oyumi are basically this on steroids, which is strange to say because this is a heroic age siege unit versus a mythic age siege unit. But what's the difference in damage? 150, 50 every 3 seconds. Actually, let's do it like this. 25.6, 50. It's got double the siege damage. Pierce, 35.2 versus 16. So this does more pierce. And it doesn't do like splash damage or anything. I'm going to go ahead and say the Oyumi does more pierce damage as well because it's piercing. Anyways, a simple move here for Soup is just to wander forward and put a castle down here and take this town center. Still got plenty of gold mines behind him. 1, 2, 3. You see a castle coming up over onto this side to lock this position off as well. You do have to remember that these castles are also advanced fortifications castles. And they've got that unique Tsukiyomi technology. Makes them do even more. As they're doing 67.5 compared over here to 45 pierce damage. And that's what all those upgrades get you. It's now Soup going after the bottom side here. Taking farms out on the way. Can these Oyumi not attack? I think they can't attack the town center unless they kill the farms in front of it. That's a little bit odd. Nonetheless, a castle coming up for Soup. As he's continuously creeping forward here with his gigantic economic advantage. As this trade route manifests itself enough. 13 at the moment. And try and take out this castle and grab this gold mine wouldn't be a terrible idea for Matador. And this is an incredibly valiant effort. Like, you do really have to ignore the score in order to give yourself a shot here in these sort of situations. Because you can see that, like, a lot of these fights, while they're going both ways, Soup is still in front on armory upgrades. Like, so if Matador could just get to full up armory upgrades, I don't think Soup's army is going to be winning these fights at all. And I say it's a big if, right? But if you can get there, it will flip this matchup on its head. So town center for Matador going to come back up. Only issue right now is that there's going to be a Titan gate. There's going to be a Titan. Where is it? I don't even know where he's building it. Hello? Am I blind? Oh, it's right here. There's going to be a Titan here in just over 2 minutes. There's the army charging over here to take out this town center. The army for Matador is somewhat out of position. But if he gets over here, he's going to be in a good spot. Now, towers to come out. These are guard towers with that. I can't remember what the technology is called. I need to look it up. It's this one, right? Tenshu. With Tenshu, which puts these through the roof as well. 35.2 pierce damage compared to 19.2. Of course, that's guard towers on top of watchtowers and Tenshu as well. I still think the Chinese towers and the Egyptian towers are the best in terms of raw damage output. As Matador does manage to defend over on this side. The Soup, meanwhile, pushing the left side with his Omyoji, his towers, and all the other good stuff. As the town center will end up falling. And at the very least, Matador has dealt with this bottom side. He can pull back up and grab this. Still hasn't been able to get himself a single armory upgrade here. An incredibly valiant effort from Matador. But, I mean, what else can he do except for just rotate between these two towns? And at some point, this is going to fall, which will mean that this now 21 caravan trade route is going to stop working. There is Frost available. There is also Undermine, which will kill off all of these towers. You might not believe it, but if you angle this like this, there you go. He will kill every tower instantly here. He just misses this one, unfortunately, but the other two will end up going down. Thank you for the 300 bits, me giant. Appreciate you, my friend. Matador now back up to the top side. Walls coming up over here as Ballister will clean this up and break through. And the Titan now is out. And Soup is ready to move across the map and create some real destruction. As the Swampland comes down, and this is really painful for Matador, actually. He really should not be sitting on this. Normally at 33 minutes into the game, a god power like Swampland wouldn't be that much of a deal. Big deal. You're going to rebuild the units anyways. But he just doesn't have the income. 60 villagers plus the trade route. 23. He's getting close to a decent income, but it's not really enough to be throwing away units here, as the villagers on this Ford gold mine now get sent flying as the Titan is in and tail whipping around here. How many heroes are there? There's 4 Goaty at the moment. We need a lot of heroes to actually deal with this Titan, or your own Titan. Berserk's got bonus damage versus Titans, but the Titan will one-hit them, so it's not the biggest... it doesn't really work. Or at least basically one-hit them. How much HP do they have? Maybe it doesn't one-hit them. They got close to like 280 effective hack armor. This guy will do 2x on 70. But not quite. Anyways, 2 hitting them. Or something. Fortified Town Center going down over here as well as the Goaty come through and slowly start chipping away at this Titan. Generally speaking, to kill off a Titan, you have to sack a lot of Town Center, a lot of unit, and go from there. Another Plaguebringer on Meraki is in. The Soup has made like somewhat of a mistake here in this late game. With I guess with Japan, there's 11 Mikor, which is 11 pop. Then there's 100 villages. And then on top of that, there's 30 caravans. So you got like 141 population of economy. So while he is dealing with a lot of stuff here with this Titan, I mean, what else? You need some military as well, to some degree. But I guess if Matador's got no economy, then that's going to be it after all is said and done. As a Fimbulwinter will get dropped down. We'll just simply limit the population, the economy Or basically it'll just be a good thing for Soup here. Him losing some villages is what he wants. He just queues up a ton of Onmyoji. Nothing but the Onmyoji on the way now. And Matador in that moment will tap out. A valiant effort. I mean, this, to some degree, this game did come down to just one gold mine. I think if Matador had managed to actually secure this gold mine a little bit earlier, he would have gotten to his armory upgrades. He probably would have been able to take advantage of this push here. There was also something weird that happened where I felt like Matador was in a good spot. He didn't manage to get his mythic age in a similar time to what Soup did for no real great reason. Let me take a look at the military difference or the economy difference. Yeah. So like he's in front on the economy, and yeah, New Moon will bring that back. Yeah. Bushido will maybe give an advantage over to the Tsukiyomi player, but I don't think it's enough to be like, you're in the mythic age and the other player isn't. So I was a bit shocked on why that happened. Of course, there's probably like the spend on military, on buildings or something maybe from Matador that happened, but I think maybe if he hit the mythic age at a similar time, he might have been able to keep this one close and give Soup a run for his money with this Tsukiyomi god. Unfortunately, just could not quite bring this game back. Super close. Almost managed to do it. Nonetheless, if you guys enjoyed the game, make sure you hit the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.